What's up, family, man? How y'all doing? It's your boy Lenn, and I'm back. Now, this is gonna be a little different than normal, so bear with me. I'm getting used to this, but it's been dealing with a lot that I've been going through lately. So I'm making a new segment for my channel in the relaunch of my channel. I'm not deleting any of my old videos because there's no way of hiding my past and who I am, and that's what made me to want me to do YouTube in the first place. So I'm gonna leave those. But in this new installment of it, one thing I'm going to add into or incorporate in it is like mini, I would say like Bible lessons, Bible studies, or like things that are going on in my life and how the Lord is affecting me, and not necessarily preach it to y'all, but to share the good things with y'all. And what took me here was really faith, and I've been dealing with faith a lot and going out on faith, and I keep saying and, but I've been dealing with that, and it's because faith, as we know, faith is the substance of things hoped for, with the evidence of things not seen. But the thing about faith is I've also learned that it's great to have faith, but without the works behind your faith, what really do you have? And it took me a while because I've wanted to do this on YouTube for the longest, but I was challenging myself. I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like I wasn't worthy enough. I felt like nobody would really want to listen to that. And it was a lot of what ifs and what couldn't and what might happen and all that stuff. But it wasn't until I went back and read it in James chapter 2 that I actually got the glimpse of real what it means to have faith without works. And I have a Bible. I don't know it off the heart. I know it's not checked. I'm working on it. But it says, what good is it, my brothers, if a man claims to have faith but has no deeds? Can such faith save him? Suppose a brother or sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to him, go, I wish you well, keep warm and well fed, but does nothing about his physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accomplished by action, is dead. And that's basically what I've been going through, is because I've had faith that God can do things, that he can move mountains, but I don't act on that faith. It's like Abraham in the Bible with his son Isaac, and how the angel came and told Abraham, and he was like, Abraham, Abraham. And he was like, here am I, what's going on? You know, it's not exactly what it said, but I'm paraphrasing. But he was like, what's up? What's going on? And he told him, you know, go forth and sacrifice your son Isaac. And if you know about the backstory of Isaac, Isaac was his son that he conceived after he was 100 by Sarah. And Isaac was someone that he really loved as his son. And in everybody else's eye, it wasn't supposed to happen. You're 100. How you really gonna tell me you got a son? You know? And so it was a miracle from God, and he loved him. And the angel came to him, he told him to sacrifice his son. And I'm pretty sure, now I may be wrong, but if it was me and I was 100 and God told, or the angel told me, sacrifice my son, part of me would be like, really? The one you just gave me, that you promised me so long, you want me to sacrifice him? You know, but Abraham went anyway, and he brought his servants, and they went to the place where God told them to go, where the angel told them to go. And he told the servants to stay back. And you know, the story goes that he went up, they went and grabbed the wood, they got to the place, and he was going to build the altar where he was supposed to sacrifice him. And Isaac, which means he was of age to know, because he asked, he said, Father, you know, I see the wood, I see the altar, I see everything we need to know we're supposed to have for this sacrifice, but what we don't have is the lamb. So Isaac knew what was going on. But at the same time, Abraham had to have so much more faith to say, God will provide. Abraham knew exactly what was supposed to be done. And he still kept going. And he still kept going. And he built the altar. He got to the point where he bound up Isaac, put him on the altar, and got the knife ready to kill him. And I mean, that speaks so much about Abraham, because I know a lot of times in my life, I'm Abraham in the sense of where God has told me something, but I'm not Abraham to where I'm willing to bind up Isaac and I'm putting him on the altar and I'm ready to kill him. And what I mean is, in my situations, even with this YouTube, take YouTube for instance, I'm where God has told me, you can do this. You're able to do this. I bless you with this avenue. Go forth and do it. But I'm not willing to step out on his promises. I'm not willing to really trust and believe in him. And even if you look up the definition of faith, faith is the substance of things hoped for, with the evidence of things not seen, which means if you have faith, you're not going to see it, but you're going to hope and believe and trust in it. And the thing is, if faith without works is dead, and there has to be an action to it, you have to walk out by the thing that you don't see and hope and believe that is still there. So I have to hope and believe that God really has a place and a plan for my life. And I have to trust and believe in him and go forth even when I don't see it. And that's the hard part for me, is that if I don't see the floor that I have to walk out to, am I really willing to step out and walk into it? I have to trust and believe in the promises that God has for me. And I believe us as Christians, we have to do the same thing. It may be hard. We won't see it a lot of times. But if God has already given us the victory, a lot of times all we need to do is just step out and walk into it. We have to step out by faith, hoping, even though we don't see, but trusting and believing by us stepping out that it will happen. Another thing that I got was the woman with the issue of blood. Just like us today, a lot of time we have the faith. If she would have sat there and said, because she knew Jesus was coming by, and she would have sat there and said, if I could just touch him and his garment, I would be made whole, and sat in her room or house just weeping and moping, she wouldn't have been healed. It's great to have the faith. God can deliver me from my financial situation. It's great to have that faith, but if you're sitting there spinning and spinning and spinning, you're not going to get healed from it. You're just sitting there in the same mess. You're festering in your mess. And what she did, not only did she have the faith that he could believe them, that he could heal them, she got up and she went out to where he was, even though he was in the crowd. And that crowd could be that trial, that crowd could be that tribulation. She had to push, she had to fight. I'm pretty sure she was crawling just to get through. She just like, I just gotta get through, I just gotta make it through. She had not only the faith, but the action behind her faith. That even when she didn't see Jesus, she went towards Jesus. And a lot of times, we don't see what Jesus has for us in the end. But as long as we keep our eyes fixed on where he wants us to go, we will get there. We're going to get there. And she finally got to where she needed to get to, and she touched the hem, and immediately she was healed. And what if today Jesus is like, you just got to get to my hem? What if we just got to be just like her? We just got to push and press just to get to the hem. We know he's there. She knew Jesus was passing by. She knew he was there. So we know Jesus has called us to do something. We know Jesus has called us to these different places. But what if we need to activate that faith with an action and go forth and do it? Despite the trials, despite the crowd, despite the what ifs, despite your friends not understanding, despite your family not believing in you, despite your relationship going against it. What if we have to go against that grain with the action and fight it in order to get to where Jesus has called us to be? And all we have to do is just touch it, believe, even though we don't see it, we got to get through it. And I promise you, man, it awoken so much in me, and it made me so much more happy to be back on YouTube. And I've had it in me so long about speaking and about wanting to talk and video and record on YouTube, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I've been stuck at that crowd where I have the faith, but I'm not pressing through the crowd. I'm not pressing through my what ifs, even though I don't see exactly where I need to go. And so I'm walking out by faith. And I pray and hope that in your situation and whatever you're going through, that you're doing the same thing. I hope that this helped you, because it definitely helped me. And I don't really know what I'm gonna do for these next videos. I mean, I'm still working it all out, but I know this had to be the first one because I had to have the faith to do this, to get to wherever he's trying to take me. And whew, I'm glad I got that off. It's been a wait. I feel so much better. I feel so much. I enjoy it, just being able to share that with y'all. And I hope, like I said, I hope this helps somebody. I'll be doing these at least once a week for right now. Get back in the swing of things. I actually have a video, a vlog of coming up after this one. It may not be in the link below, but it'll be on my page after it somewhere. So make sure y'all go check that out, man. Make sure y'all subscribe. We are back. We are better than ever, and we are following God, which is the topmost of important thing in my life, man. So yeah, I hope y'all come along on this journey. Hope y'all have a blessed and beautiful day. Love you. Peace.